Hey y'all, Nathan Christ here, still coming at you live from just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you're watching this tutorial, you're interested in one of three things. You're interested in what is a campaign, how do I create a campaign, or how do I send a campaign. Now then, the first thing you're going to need to do is go to SendOutCards.com and log in. Once you've done that, you'll be looking at the screen that you're looking at now. This is the SendOutCards dashboard. Now then, first thing you need to know, what's the difference between sending a regular card and what is a campaign? So a campaign is a card that you create and you save so that you can send it out multiple different times. Maybe a business card, something that you want to use a standard thank you card that's personalized and customized, and you want to be able to duplicate and resend that card out on multiple different occasions. Another reason you might want to send a campaign or create a campaign is you want to create a card and save it to send it to multiple people at the same time. So maybe a Christmas card, a wedding invitation, something like that. So now that you know what a campaign is, let's talk about how do we build a campaign. So creating a campaign, we go up here to Main Menu, and we come over here to the Campaign section, and we go to Campaign Manager. Now then, what you're going to see is it comes up, and if I want to create a campaign for the first time, I'm going to click Create a New Campaign, right? So I'm not going to do this today because I'm going to show you one that I've already created. So I'm going to go down to this one that says Her Thank You Customer. So I've created the name so that it reminds me this is a thank you card that would be designed to go out towards a female customer. Again, so the first thing you're going to see is you're going to be able to create the name of your campaign, create it whatever you want, something that it jogs your memory about what the card or cards are about. Next, what I get to do is I can create a different return address than what is automatically saved as my default. So this says Nathan and Christine Christ, and if I go up here, my default is a business name. So same address, but I want to change this so it's coming out from she and I. Now then, I can scroll down, and you're not going to see any cards here. The only thing you're going to see is a button that says Create a New Card for this campaign. What I want you to do is I want you to click on it. And when you click on it, I'm just going to click on one that I've already created. But what happens is when you click on it, you're going to be able to name that card. Now it's automatically going to come up and it's going to say Card 1. You don't have to change it, but if you want to, you can. So this one I've just changed to Thank You Immediate. I'm going to click Continue. Now as it's coming up, I chose to go with a standard card in the card catalog. Now then, the inside is just created however we want to do it. This is a stock card, but I can do whatever I want to. So we've added a picture at the top. Everything that you see kind of highlighted in yellow is something that we added to it, so the backgrounds and all that stuff. So what I can do is now we've got our signatures and stuff in here. Now here's a feature that you may or may not know. So see where it says first name and spouse first name? What I can do is I can come down here, and when I'm adding my text, I can click Insert Name, and I can choose first name and spouse name, last name, spouse last name. So what this does is, as it's set the way it is now, when we send this card out, it's going to say to Nathan and Christine. It's going to take the first name of the contact manager, and if it's got a spouse's name, it's going to automatically add the spouse's name. So for us, a married couple, it's going to say to Nathan and Christine, to Bob and Mary, to John and Evelyn. And if there is no spouse, it's not going to say to Bob and spouse. It's just going to say to Bob. Okay. So here's goes Nathan and Christine. It's got our message. It's got our signatures and stuff in there. And what you want to do every time before you send a card, what you're going to want to do is click the Print Preview button. Now, when you click the Print Preview button, what's going to happen is it's going to come up on your screen, and you're going to see in a green perforated box. And it's going to show you that anything outside of that box is subject to being cut off. Doesn't mean that it will, but it means that it could. So all my text, everything in here looks good. So there's nothing outside this green edge that I have to worry about. Now you notice here it's showing first name and spouse's first name. Here it's showing these little alligator mouth and a comma. Don't worry about that. That's just showing you that whatever you have in here is going to be added from the contact management system. So once I know my card looks good, I can click Continue. Now then, at this point, I can create and choose a gift to go with my card. So if I want all my cards to go out with a gift, at this point I can do that. I can come in here and let's say I want to send out a card with some brownies to every customer as a way to thank them. So there's a ton of different options that you can choose from. I'm going to go with Gourmet Foods, and I'm going to choose this bakery. and then I'm going to choose these gourmet brownies because I know how good they are. So I can add a 2-pack of brownies for 10 points. So I'm going to select this. Tells me about how much it's going to be in shipping cost. I'm good with that. And I'm going to add that to this card. So now it comes up and it says you've chose a 2-pack of brownies as your gift. Now when I get to this point, every one of these cards, when you create it automatically, it's going to go to immediate. So that means as soon as you send this campaign, that card is going to go out the day at the time that you send it. It's going to go into production. So you'll see, I'm going to talk about this, and you'll see I've got 3 cards that are attached to this campaign. You can set them to go out on a domino effect. So this first one I want to go out immediately. But let's just pretend for a minute this was a birthday card. Well, I don't necessarily want the birthday card to go out immediately if their birthday is not for another 6 months. So I could choose birthday or anniversary or a specific date. And what's going to happen is the system realizes that if this is a birthday card and I've chosen birthday, 7 days, I can send this card now. And if somebody's birthday is not for 6 months or 8 months or 10 months, 7 days before their birthday, this card's going to go into production and they're going to get that card at the time of their birthday. So it's not like I'm sending it now and it's waiting for 7 months in their mailbox. Very, very cool. Also, if I choose a specific date, right now it's the month of April. But if I wanted to say this was a Christmas card, I could choose December 1st, and I could send out all of my Christmas cards in April and send it out to all my friends and family, and it's not going to go into production until December 1st. Very, very cool. Additionally, I can choose to have this go out like dominoes, like I was telling you about. This is actually how this campaign is set up. So this first card would go out immediately. If there was another card, a second card, or a third card in the campaign, I could choose to have it go out 14 days or weeks or months after or before, but I'm going to choose after the immediate card. So what this means is if I had a second card or a third card in the campaign, which I do, and I'll show you in just a second, this first card would go automatically, and then the second card would go out a predetermined number of days after the first card went out. Let's see what that looks like. Let me go back and set it at 0. Save it and go back. Now then, this is the card that we were just working on, right? So now you see that this one says thank you. It's going out with a 2-pack of brownies. And now I've got a second card that's going out 7 days after the immediate one. So 7 days after the first card, they're going to have a second card that's going to go into production. And then a third card is going to go out 21 days after the first one. So this one goes out on, say, April the 1st. This one goes out on April the 7th. This one goes out on April the 21st. So you see how you can set it up to go out as few or as many times as you'd like. And this might be at a birthday card, at an anniversary card. Anything you want to, you can set it up. Now then, if you have the custom branding, and I think everybody probably does, you have the ability to customize the back of your cards. So one of the things I'm able to do is I can go in here and I can select a different card back. If I wanted all my cards to go out with this back, I would just select it, and it would be saved as the back for all of these cards. Somebody might have a business, they want to use their business logo. Somebody might, maybe it's for a wedding, so they create a special back just for their wedding. Whatever you decide that you want to do, you can do that. When you get done, you come down here to the bottom and you click Save Campaign. Now then, it tells you that it's been saved. It reminds you that you have to send the campaigns to your recipients from the contact manager. Now, let's show you how that's done. Doesn't matter if you're at this point or if you've just logged in and you're at your dashboard. Most people, this is where they mess up. You don't send your you don't send your campaigns from your campaign manager. You send your campaigns from your contact manager. So I would go here and click Find a Contact. And what I can do is search for the individual person, or I can search by a group of people just by selecting all these groups. All I have to do is select the groups that I want and click Find a Contact. So I don't need to search all of these groups. I'm going to clear it. And I'm just going to use, for this purpose, a test group that I created. So I'm going to click Find a Contact, and it's going to pull up everybody in that test group. So here's me, and here's John Doe. So all I have to do is come up here to, and now anybody, let me say this, anybody that's got a check by their name, this only has 2 contacts, but you might have 100 or 1,000 contacts in here. Every one of them is going to have a check by their name. So what you can do is you can either keep them all selected, and uncheck the ones that you don't want to get a card, or you can unselect all of them and just choose the ones that you do want to get a card. Once you have your selections made, you come up here to Campaign, and this is why it's important to name them, because you get to select the campaign that you want. So this one we were working with was a thank you for her. Now let's just pretend that John and I are both females, or we can just come down here and do the thank you card for him. But I just want to show you how this works. So the card that we just created, thank you for her, I'm going to click Send Campaign to Checked, and it's going to calculate exactly how many points it's going to cost to send out 3 cards, one of them with brownies, and to both people. So in this case, it's going to cost me 38 points total and $11 in postage. It tells me how many points I have currently and how much postage I have, and all I have to do is click Continue, and those cards are underway. It says you will receive a notification at the main menu when it's finished sending. So watch this. It's immediate. Let me go back to my main menu, and it pops up. You have successfully added 2 contacts to the Her campaign. So boom, those cards are now on their way out. All you have to do is click search, and then what happens is it's going to pull up all the cards that you have processed, and it'll tell you when they're going out, or you'll be able to track them. You'll be able to look up all that information. So if you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up. Reach out to me, comment, subscribe, anything I can do to help you out. You guys please let me know. Until then, I appreciate everything, and God bless.